And talks about racism in policing also ongoing as we conclude Black History Month. And we are live right now outside of Toronto Police Headquarters along College Street. Just yesterday, the board welcoming 18 new members to its anti-racism advisory panel, which aims to address discrimination within the force. So have we seen a change in policing, and how far do we have to go? One of the panel's co-chairs, Ainsworth Morgan, who is a police services board member and a TDSB principal, joins me now live. Good morning to you, Ainsworth.
Good morning.
So let's begin here with this panel that we have been talking about for some time. We've heard always a number of recommendations. It is very clear that changes need to happen. So what changes are going to be implemented with this panel?
So first of all, thank you for having me. I think there are a number of changes that are going to be taking place. So just a bit of context, this came out of the inquest into the tragic death of Andrew Loco in 2018. The panel was established and co-chaired by the inaugural panel was co-chaired by Dr. Notisha Masakwa and Upala Chandrasekera. And they had sort of laid the foundation and the groundwork for creating a framework to be able to implement the recommendations. And so in the summer of 2020, last summer, 81 recommendations were put forward, and the new ARAP panel will be tasked in implementing those recommendations.
What is a top priority right now, Ainsworth, or something that can be implemented right now?
Well, I think that's a little bit premature, to be honest. We just confirmed those names yesterday. We're looking to meet in a couple weeks with the committee and as a collective start looking at what we can do and the steps that we will take over the next 3 years.
Let's talk about the members of the panel. It's a diverse panel in that they're coming from various areas of the community. Who sits here?
So we have a real cross-section of community, and my co-chair, Anthony Morgan, no relation, really took some time to be able to do a thorough. We have over 60 different applicants that have applied for this panel, and we've been able to find, folks that are from different sectors, different experiences in terms of career, the community advocacy, and we think we have an excellent group of community that we want to partner with in addressing some of these issues.
Ainsworth, you are also a principal within the TDSB, and there is a very unique and changing relationship with students, depending on which communities they live in, with their relationship with police and policing, and community members and trust with police. So how do we bridge that gap and rebuild those relationships?
Well, I think there are many things involved. And again, as part of TDSB, our multi-year strategic plan, we are looking at some of the issues that impact our most marginalized students and families. So I think really listening to community, taking the time to address some of these issues in a way that speaks to the needs. As someone that grew up in the community of Regent Park, and now in my adoptive community of Pelmo Park, I know firsthand some of these challenges that I've faced from my preteen years and into my adulthood. So I think it's really listening to community, making sure that they are an authentic voice at the table, and making sure that they understand that we are here to support them.
Ainsworth, I don't know if you heard the story that we shared with our viewers prior to introducing you, talking about one student within the TDSB that pointed out a poem that was read that was racially insensitive. I know the TDSB has acknowledged it from a board level, but speaking, and you don't have to talk to this specific case, but when it comes to education and starting with our youngsters and what they're learning and the conversations we're having, how important is that?
Well, I think it's critically important, and within TDSB, our multi-year strategic plan, in order for you to address something, you actually have to name it. And so within that, there's specific language around addressing anti-Black racism and being able to be specific as not just equity and not just racism, but anti-Black racism. That language is there, and our interim director, Karen Faulkner is really putting forward some steps. It's a real challenging piece to do, particularly when we're in our current situation. We work with some of our earliest learners. We do a pre-K program that supports students coming in, your 3-4-year-olds that are coming into the educational systems, and creating a space that they see themselves, they're reflected in the curriculum, and we're looking at pushing this all the way through grade 12. So when we talk about issues like de-streaming, it's not just in high school, and this starts with our earliest learners.
Ainsworth, appreciate the time today. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you very much. And I would just like to, as we end with Black History Month, just acknowledge those that came before me, folks at Dr. Avis Glaze, Jean Augustine, and Harold Brathwaite, and, Mr. Jojo Chinto, very old from your network. So thank you very much, and you have a great day.
Thank you to you as well. Stay safe.
7:11
is your time right now, and this conversation continues, and we're talking about it in the NBA as well.